What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is First Read Fantasy. Today, we are coming at you with a best ball draft. We're not sure which draft we're going to do yet. Right now, we're going to shoot for the $35 Greyhound. We're going to go in that room, see if it's filling. If it's not filling, then we will pivot. So there you go. But thank you for tuning in, of course. My name is Michael Hoff. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. I'm joined by Ernie, Mr. Fantasy Football Anonymous, who can be followed at Fantasy Anon with a Y at the end. I'm going to get used to that eventually. That's fine. So there you go. Ernie, how's it going?
Or Fantasy Anani. I feel that's an
Fantasy
easier way.
It just sounds weird to me when I say it. Is that how you say it in your head? Is that how you?
That's but I've heard everybody say it, all these different variations. So it's whatever, man. I just wish they would let me be at Fantasy Anonymous, but I think it was already taken.
Oh, it was already taken?
Yeah, someone beat me to it.
We gotta get that clown off the app. Then we'll work on that later after this draft. There you go.
We'll hack the at and we'll steal it back for ourselves.
Yeah. We can make that happen.
But yeah, man. No, happy Saturday, bro. I'm doing good. The Yankees are finally winning a baseball game, so that's good. I'm unfortunately a Yankees fan guy. I know everybody can hate me. But no, man, I'm ready to do some best ball drafts. It's Saturday, so usually I'll get 3 of those in like the degenerate I am. But I'm happy to do one with my friend and colleague, Mike Hoff, and we're going to probably draft 2 terrible teams, but that's why this is fun.
You said that off air, and again, I said, speak for yourself.
Oh, my team's good. You might have a good one. My team's going to be terrible, regardless. All right. So
there you go.
This is a donation.
There you go. That's very nice of you to do. So yeah, I will tell you guys, if you guys are watching on the old YouTube there, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. Helps us out immensely. We're going to have a lot of pre-recorded content coming out this week too, so look forward to that. But if you are ready, sir, we can try and join this draft.
The Greyhound.
We will try and join the Greyhound. It's a $35 entry, fast drafts only, which is how we roll, obviously, when we're podcasting. If you're there, let me know, and I'll do a countdown.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm there, so you hit me with let's do a 3-second countdown.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right.
6 more.
6 more. All right, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see how fast this fills.
Give it a couple of minutes.
Yeah. You said you got plans later. What are you doing?
I'm going to my brother-in-law's. We're going to grill my 2-year-old nephew. They love quads and all that stuff, and I think he got like a little one or something. So
nice.
Yeah, that's the main event today. So, right. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. How about you?
I'll be going to a watch party for the Mets and Phillies game, and Matt Harvey's going to be there. So my brother-in-law knows the guy who is running it. I had the pleasure of meeting Matt once already. He's a really cool guy. But yeah, so I'm actually debating because, you mentioned the Yankees finally won. Mets haven't been able to do that. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to throw like 25 on the Mets just to kind of change the juju around a little bit,
I like that.
So,
dude, it's funny how the Yankees and Mets are like in sync with each other.
Yeah.
Both are elite for the beginning of the year, and then when they both go into it, it's the same time.
It's so funny. Same time. That's it.
That's why I personally think the Yankees say I hit you and Pete up. I was trying to put together my parlay. I thought the Marlins were kind of sharp today versus the Braves, but I took the Yankees as well. Same logic, dude. It's Saturday. It's in New York. They got Baltimore. Like, they got to be able to, it's one of the better offenses in baseball. They got to put it together. So, yeah, man, I think that's a great bet, dude. I mean, the Mets are a good team. This is, they're not, the losing streak's going to end,
yep.
So.
We got 5 people. We're waiting on 5. Do you want to try?
Yeah, we can, because this is going to take a second. You want to do Mania then instead of the puppy, or you want to do I mean, I love both, so it doesn't matter to me.
Let's try Mania. Let's see what happens. I've already done, as I told you off air, I've already done 2 super flexes today, and I did one. What's that?
I did one. Second I woke up. Yeah, when I'm too lazy to get out of bed, I just sit there, rip one, and then after I hate my draft, I get fired up, and then I go brush my teeth, take my shower, get ready for my day.
Yeah, I was a little traumatized. I got auto drafted Anthony Richardson, which I told you earlier. But yeah.
Dude, I was actually dying at that tweet just because I feel it on a spiritual level. Well, I think Daniel, even if Anthony Richardson was healthy, and this is coming from an Anthony Richardson fan, loved him last year. I bought it to the hype like at the end, which kills me because usually like I have my guys, I stay with them. I hate like adding on to my guys, but dude, I love Steichen. I love the Colts offense, and I'm like, everything's there, but he can't throw. Anthony Richardson cannot throw a football. It's evident. Maybe one day a coach will be able to, help him figure it out. But, I'm not betting on that. I'm not banking on that. And that's even with his supporting cast and Steichen. So, yeah, man, I like Daniel Jones to win that job. As disgusting as it is to say, organically. But
Yeah.
no, it's just funny because like that's why I don't like Anthony Richardson. On top of that, he's already hurt. And it's just a wasted pick, So I was dying at that, man. That was funny.
Well, I'm glad somebody enjoyed it. All right. So if you're there at the Best Ball Mania, we will we'll do a little countdown again. Let me know when you're there.
Yes, sir.
And Jamie's saying I can't join the Greyhound because I'm not rich like you guys. I
I just
got
read
news
that.
for you.
I was feeling bad. Come do Mania with us, Jamie.
Yeah, it's $10 less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only do the Schnauzer.
The Schnauzer. So there you go. We're waiting for the Pomeranian contest to come back for Anthony. So all right, but ready. So on well, you're ready to join?
Yes, sir.
All right. Best Ball Mania in 3, 2, 1. All right. Since
Two
I'm
more
waiting
to start.
Says I'm waiting for one.
Should we bounce out of this?
All right, let's bounce out quick.
Jesus. Yeah, the hell.
All right, let's try again. Try Best Ball Mania again.
Yes.
And we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Drafting starts soon.
Yeah, it says waiting. Okay, so we should be good.
Perfect. Let's see. 10.
Yes. You're 10?
Yes.
And I got pick 3. And now I gotta change my focus, my mindset here. Again, I told you I did 2 super flexes today. I gotta get my mind right.
Now, all I've been doing is because I'm like Jamie, man. I'll do the cheap ones, like the Schnauzer first, and you usually get like 20. So it's like $60. You could exhaust all your attempts in that tournament. But then it's the puppy but super flex is $5. So I'm like you, man. That's all I've been
I've been hammering them.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think I enjoy the super flex drafts more than I do standard, because just the value, dude. If you get your quarterbacks, man, like ideally you'd like 3, for the bye week and for the spike weeks, but you get 2, man. Like you're getting players like gods round 5 and 6. You know what I mean? I saw Brock Bowers go. I think that was with Steve. He went like round 4. So just shows you that like there's a lot of good value that falls. Oh, here we go.
All right, so we're started. Jamar Chase, as expected, off the board first.
And your Bijan.
So I'm going right to Saquon. So
not a boy.
Take care of that. All right, and then your pick 10. So we'll wait to see what happens there. Justin Jefferson goes off the board. CeeDee Lamb. So I mean, that's kind of fair. It's kind of fair play here. Not going to see a ton of running backs go. Maybe at the back end of the first, probably. Maybe a Christian McCaffrey sneaks in there. Obviously Gibbs too. What are you looking for here? You looking particular player or
Nico Collins?
Nico Collins. All right.
He's just one of my guys this year. He's my dark horse wide receiver one. I really think if he didn't get hurt last year, he would have 2,000 yards. I've been very, very close to it. So I'm super high on him. I think he should be going much earlier. I think he should be like a middle to early first round pick. So I'm kind of playing the value here. Again, I could get burned though. It's a gamble because of, Houston's offensive line. Yeah. But again, dude, he's even the PFF grades, all the metrics just scream that Nico Collins is much better than we think. So
here he goes. So there he goes, right up the board to you, just as you planned. Christian McCaffrey went 8. That's probably the earliest I've seen him go in these best ball drafts. I know Pete said he's been grabbing a ton of them. I'll grab him if I'm at the back end of the first or early second there. But I don't know if I would have taken him at 8. Probably would have gone a Monra there, maybe even Nico. But
I mean, here's the thing with Christian. It's kind of similar to Nico. It's
Sure.
like I wouldn't be shocked. Like if McCaffrey plays 17 games and he's healthy, he's giving you 300 PPR points.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a top 5 PPR running back, and I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he finished RB1 too, but dude, he's 29, the injury history, man. And it's always like a muscular issue, it's not like that's what scares me even more.
Right.
So yeah, that's a risk or reward pick. Personally, I'm fading him this year, but I could definitely be wrong. He could definitely still explode. When he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Jamie's asking, with Saquon, are you drafting Shipley for safety? Probably not. It's not a necessity for me. If it plays out that way, then I'll take a look at him. But I'm not telling myself when I draft Saquon that I got to get Shipley later. Uh, but yeah, that's just me. I mean, Ernie, would you try and shoot for that if you were the one who drafted Saquon?
I wouldn't. So
Yeah.
the only reason why is because like I get Jamie's angle. The thing is, I'm not buying into the Saquon Barkley injury history. I'm also not buying into the Madden curse, even though the
Hmm.
Madden curse is like kind of real.
I am
But
after last year being a 49ers fan.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, I again, I'm a Giants fan, so I watched Saquon for a long time. A lot of his injuries are more like bad luck. It's not like because he's injury prone. Um, and a lot of people they just like to shit on the Giants, so it's easier to make fun of them. But no, man, I'm feeling good about Barkley this year. That's why when you took him, dude, best pick you can make. I think people overthink that. Like, bro,
yeah.
he's behind the best offensive line in football. He's one of the best running backs of all time. He's entering his prime. He just got paid. He's a team player, dude. He's not one of those guys that isn't going to try now because he got paid. No, man, like he wants to be one of the best of all times. There's nothing more than he wants in this world than win 2 Super Bowls back to back. That's the competitor he is, man. So I love Barkley. I think he's no brainer pick. I'm not worried about any injury.
All right.
You
Well,
could
there you
take
go.
you could take the handcuff though, dude. I mean, like if again, you're gonna get Shipley with one of your last picks. So if like all your sleepers are gone,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
you want
And
then
yeah.
why not?
Yeah, then I'll look into it. But all right, so we are now in the third round. I had started my team with Saquon. I took Jonathan Taylor, decided to go RB heavy to start, which is not something I always do. Garrett Wilson as my first wide receiver, so I will take that. Um, Scott is mentioning in the chat that he thinks Pete went 3 on McCaffrey, and I think you're correct on that. Actually, I think he posted that on X and said he wasn't apologizing for anything. But yeah, he's officially in on McCaffrey. It's good to see. So welcome to the family, Pete. But all right, Ernie, you're up here in what 2 or 3 picks. You took Drake London in the second round. What are you looking to do here with these next picks?
I was gonna go JSN, try to get my 3 wide receivers early, try to get guys that I think could be wide receiver ones. I'm gonna take Josh Allen here because
Ooh.
I think this is kind of a dead zone spot. I want the best player on the board. I think Lamar or Josh are gonna give you the most points. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go QB here,
I
and then I'm
like it.
probably gonna reach for my next pick.
Okay. Where are we reaching to?
So this again, I could fall right on my face, man, but this is just a hunch. I love Omarion Hampton. I
Oh.
I I think Omarion Hampton could easily be the top rookie running back this year, just based off of pedigree, team, scheme fit, and the supporting cast. Top 5 offensive line. I mean, bro, Chargers tackles are nasty.
Yep.
What was it? Rashawn Slater, and then you have Joe Alt. Like that's actually
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. And you have Harborough. Like everybody that's a football fan loves him. Just the mentality he brings, the culture. You could tell he's a great coach, just the way his players want to die for him. But what does Harborough do? Well, he's going to pound the football, man. And they took this
Did the
kid in the
same
first
thing when
round.
he was in San Francisco. Beefed up the line and then ran the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think Najee, like a lot of people, and this is a fair point. Like, well, what about Najee? I'm actually higher on Najee than people think. This is why I have so much conviction in Hampton. They signed him before the draft started. So I think Najee was insurance, just that they have a pounder, regardless of the draft. And dude, again, you could draft, like, say Genti fell to them. Maybe that was the RB1, right? And they got him at 20 for whatever reason. And then he tears his ACL in camp.
Sure.
Who's running the ball now? We know Najee is going to get 1,000 yards behind this line. He's going to be able to carry the ball 20 plus times a game. But yeah, man, they drafted him in the first round for a reason. I just think that maybe in the beginning it will be a split, but Omarian's running away with this job. I don't even I don't have any concerns or reservations. I think he is an absolute stud. He reminds me so much of Nick Chubb, player I'm super high on. So I'm gonna bank on him being one of the breakout rookies.
All right. Since you took a quarterback, we've seen three more quarterbacks go off the board. Obviously, the familiar faces, the Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels of the world. If Jaden had fallen to me, I would have taken him. I was looking at DK or Jameson Williams. I drafted Jameson this morning, so I'm drafting DK now.
I
I
like
know
that.
some people are worried about DK. I'm really not with Aaron Rodgers. I'm one of those guys who thinks Aaron Rodgers, while he's not what he was when he was winning back-to-back MVPs, I think he's still somebody that can make a wide receiver valuable. I mean,
Agreed.
despite the Jets being the Jets last year, I mean, look at Garrett Wilson, look at Devontae Adams. I know Garrett Wilson's targets fell off pretty hard once Devontae Adams got into town, which is what we all expected, but still, he was able to show you that he could produce a wide receiver there. So I felt confident drafting DK Metcalf there in the fourth round, back into the fourth. Happy to do so. You have any thoughts there on DK?
You're on the clock, by the way. Just
I
making.
know I'm
Oh,
getting there.
okay. I didn't want you to auto. No, dude. I agree with you wholeheartedly on everything you said. Like, I think a lot of people are overreacting to Aaron Rodgers. Again, guys, like he was the quarterback for the Jets. It's the same thing as the Giants. Like, you're setting these guys on a suicide mission. Like, they're not gonna. Aaron Rodgers was not gonna fix the Jets. And listen, I agree with you. He's not the MVP he was player, from years ago, but I think he's still good. I think he's definitely still serviceable. And the Steelers are much better than the Jets, especially the supporting cast. Tougher division, but better setup. And I agree with you, man. I think DK is going to benefit from this. I think he's easily 1,000-yard wide receiver this year. I think what you're hoping for is the touchdowns. Like,
Sure.
you could get him to score 8+ touch because I think he's going to walk into 1,000 yards. You get 8+ touchdowns out of him, then it was a home run pick. But I completely agree.
Yeah. No, I agree. Rodgers, by the way, had 4 games with over 20 points last year. Um, Better coaching staff too. I mean,
Was that
really, you know,
did he have that? Was it after Adams came, or were some of those before Adams came? Because
those
that's an interesting
games.
stat.
Give me a second on that. Aaron Rodgers ended the so too. He came in week 8, I believe. Yeah, he had 3 games with 20 points after week 8, which week 8, I'm pretty sure that's when Devontae Adams got there, right around
Right,
then.
that checks out.
Oddly enough, their first game was against the Steelers. But yeah, so he had 3 games of 20 or more points after Adams came to town, one prior, which looks like week 3, 21 points. That sounds about right. So yeah, week 3, 21 points. So yeah, I think Roger still has something in him. What did you
100%.
go here with these 2 picks you just made as we were talking Rogers there?
Yep. So there's a bunch. This is round 5, 6. There's more players I ironically like than round 4, but I like Kenny Walker. I like Travion Henderson. I went Ridley and RJ Harvey. I love Calvin Ridley this year. I think he's going to be. It's easy to always be like, oh, this year's Bucky Irving, but it's just an easier way to put it. I think Calvin Ridley is going to be this year's Terry McLaurin. I think Cam Ward is legit, like big arm, quick release. Outside of Calvin Ridley, it's just a bunch of day 3 rookies.
Right.
So I think Calvin Ridley is going to have a boom year. He's still only he just turned 30, so he's not ancient. So I think there's still gas in the tank. He's going to be a low end wide receiver 1 this year. Then I went RJ Harvey, man. I think people are losing their mind over the J.K. Dobbins signing. Again, listen. I think a lot of these teams, they don't want to be without, a running back, and you kind of looked at the Broncos last year, they had nobody. That's why, like, their running game kind of sucked. Like, Peyton had nobody to run the ball with. He didn't trust Estime. Javante was cooked. And I don't think he wants that to happen again. So, again, they signed him for what, $5 million? I'm not saying Dobbins isn't going to touch the ball this year, but listen, I live and breathe college football every Saturday. I watched UCF. I love betting RJ Harvey's over prop. It was always fun, dude. He would have like his over prop would be like 125 yards and he finished with like 170.
Yeah.
He's legit. He's as advertised. He's much bigger than people think. I think, and again, even Alvin Kamara. When Sean Payton drafted Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram was there. Mark Ingram was much better than J.K. Dobbins, and still Kamara and Ingram both ate, So,
Yeah.
there's a world where both of these running backs could thrive. But again, I think Dobbins is more insurance. I think RJ Harvey is an absolute stud. I think he's going to be a PPR monster. So I'm all in. The one thing I don't like is that him and Hampton have buys the same week. That's why I was kind of considering Travion, because he's another one that I think is going to be a stud this year. But he actually won the pick before. So
All right. I made my 2 picks here. I will say Pat Mahomes went off the board before I got Joe Burrow with the 10th pick in the 6th round. That's an odd one to me. Patrick Mahomes going 6th pick of the 6th round. I mean, if you ask me which quarterback I want
Joe
in the
Burrow.
NFL, if it's last drive, I'll take
Sure.
Pat Mahomes. You ask me
Sure.
who I want in the best bowl league, I'm taking Joe Burrow. So,
Yeah. Or fantasy football.
Yeah, so I mean, happy to see Burrow landed to me when somebody took Mahomes. Appreciate that. And then, oddly enough, as big of a 49er fan as I am, I don't have a ton of shares of Ricky Pearsall. I do have a lot of Juwan Jennings, but I'll shoot my shot there with Ricky Pearsall. He is now my 4th wide receiver after starting with 2 running backs. I got Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith, and Ricky Pearsall. So I will roll with that. With that said, Ernie, you are now on the clock. What are you doing here?
Ooh, pick is in. I took my boy, one of my biggest sleepers this year, Joshua Downs. I love him. Another bold take. I think he finishes top 15 PPR wide receiver this year. That's how high I am on Josh Downs. I think the underlying metrics, the PFF grades, they all back that up. So, if he stays healthy, and again, I know, I know the verdict on Daniel Jones. I'm not ignoring that. I just think much better team, much better coach. And we see this all the time with Giants players. Like all these Giants that leave the Giants, Barkley, McKinney, Will Hernandez, they have career years the next year because they're just going to, better situations, And
I know what that's
again,
like being a Met fan. So
yeah. And you look at Josh Downs' production with what was it, Joe Flacco in that 7 games. And this was I'll sell you with this stat. The 7 games he played with Joe Flacco, if you average those games out for fantasy points per game, and then you flesh that out to a 17-game season, he was a top 10 PPR wide receiver.
Not too shabby. And you're snagging him in the back end of the 7th round. So I like it.
Yep, that's my
and
outlook.
then you took your guy Jordan Mason there.
Yeah.
I see. That's I think that's the 2nd draft I've done with you where you're taking him, pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, he's another flag plant. I might. Oh yeah, I take him in every draft. Look, I think he's kind of undervalued just because of the respect we all have for Aaron Jones, right? And what Aaron Jones did last year. But again, Mason's 25. Like his underlying numbers and like they're all screaming like elite running back. And it's gonna be a 1-2 punch where I like the work that Mason's gonna like. He's gonna get the goal line touches. He's gonna close out games. And Aaron Jones is 31 with a littered injury history. So there's a lot to like about Mason's profile, man. I think he's one injury away from being a solid RB1, but I think at worst he's solid flex value.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to select Mark Andrews here with my pick in the 8th round. I still believe in Mark Andrews. I mean, people look at the way the season started for him and the way the season ended for him, and they want to say that this is it. He's done. He's cooked, as the cool kids say. I don't think so at all. He's still one of the top fantasy tight ends. I could pull it up exactly how many games he had with at least 10 or more points. If you give me a hot second, I could find that. Where are you, Mark? Mark Andrews had last year 10 games with over 10 points. 10 games. He had one game with 20. So in the midst of all the drama of the way the season started and the way the season ended, not a bad outing in my personal opinion. So I will shoot my shot there as well. That's the second time I've said that. Maybe I'll say it 3 times and make it a hat trick.
I think it's coming again.
Yeah. I did take Tyrone Tracy, ninth round. I know everybody's in love with Cam Scattaboo, so am I, but Tracy was still good last year, and you know, again, I've said this a million times on the show, but or shows wherever I've been, but the Giants, they had a great draft class last year, and they had one this year too. We'll see how it turns out, but I like both of those draft classes. We were getting next up here. Where are we? Oh yeah. Jamie was asking, would you say Pearsall and Pacheco have similar dynasty value?
No, I like Pearsall's more.
I like Pearsall more. I just, I don't really know what kind of consistency we're going to get from Pacheco with Kansas City. I don't think they're going to lock him up for anything long term. I could see them just giving him the boot whenever they're ready. So I mean, look, I like to draft Kareem Hunt late in these best ball drafts because I feel like he's going to sneak in there and have a couple good games. It's just, he's not the offense doesn't revolve around Pacheco. That's not to say the offense revolves around Pearsall, but I'll take that there. I'll take Pearsall. Fantasy Dog saying he's got a lot of Andrews. Hell yeah, dude. It's because you're smart. Let's see. That's what's going on.
Yeah, where does Zay Flowers go? Where did Zay Flowers go in this draft?
Zay Flowers. Where are you, Zay? Let me see. Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers went with the last pick in the 4th round there.
That's why I like your Mark Andrews pick too, where it's like I don't have a lot of Andrews, but if I'm taking a Ravens receiver, it's Mark Andrews. Like I don't want to spend a 4th or a 5th round pick on Zay Flowers. I don't. I much rather. I think Andrews is his number 1 receiver. So love that pick. And yeah, as a Giants fan, I would have went with Tracy too. Like Giants are going to have the worst record in the NFL this year. Tracy's going to get all the receiving work. So I thought that was a smart way to go.
Yeah, I mean the team will be better, the Giants, but that schedule is just absolutely brutal.
It's insane.
It's one of the worst schedules I've seen dealt to a team that finished last place. And I've been watching football for a long time.
Did you see the first 8 games?
Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's absolutely brutal.
I'm like so confident, dude, that they're going 1-7. I think the only game they win.
Roger Goodell over there, but
the only game they will win, dude, is versus New Orleans. And even like it's nothing's set in stone with the Giants, but the first 4 games is 0-4, and then I think they're at New Orleans, and then it's like Philly, Denver, Philly.
It's
like they're gonna
get first 8 games at Washington, at Dallas,
home
opener against the Chiefs. Thanks for that, NFL. At home against the Chargers,
loss.
Then at New Orleans, as you were saying,
win.
Then it's versus Philadelphia, loss. At Denver. At Philadelphia. And by the way, week 9, just in case, they go up against the Niners.
Loss. So that's 1-8.
And I'm telling you, man, I think Daboll is a better coach than he's getting credit for there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just not going to see it from him. He's going to get let go.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, you have like when they go, 4-13, whatever it will be, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah,
and I'm with you on Daboll. I've always been a big Daboll fan. Kind of lost me last year how he handled the Jones thing. I thought that was kind of like loser mentality to just be like, oh, it's the quarterback. When it's like, bro, like you have eyes and ears, like your team sucks. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that turned me off a little bit. But I'm with you, man. Like, I'm more of a Daboll guy. Like I think Shane is terrible. But yeah, they're definitely going to be let go. I just don't see how in any NFL team, if your franchise goes, less than 4 wins 3 seasons in a row, and then you go, oh, we're gonna run it. No, man. Like, there's
Yeah.
Garrett Nussmeier, there's Drew Aller, you have Sellers. Like, it's not like this past season. This is an epic, QB class, just like 2023. They'll get a new GM, they'll get a new coach, and they're gonna pick their guy. I know they just took Dart, but Mike Hoff, if me and you, let's say you're the coach, I'm the GM.
Yep.
We just take over the Giants. We have the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. So we could get Nussmeier or Aller right off the bat. We're going to say, oh, we're not taking our guy because the regime that sucked last year drafted a guy at the end of the first round. Like, no, like, we'll trade Dart for like a day 2 pick to somebody that was high on him, and we're going to take the blue chip quarterback. That's just logically what I think is going to happen with the Giants.
Well, I will just say before you come up here with your next 2 picks, I will just say at some point, whoever is the head coach, when the Giants do start winning games, I think they're going to look back at these last 2 draft classes for the Giants and say, "Hey, those are pretty good."
Yeah.
So, which I know you're not a Shane guy, and that's okay, but I do think that's obviously a credit to
Yes.
him and his team over there. But
Yes.
you're on the clock for 2, so let's see what you do. Well, 2, but 1, then you got to wait a bit. But what are you thinking here?
I'm gonna take Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Needed another quarterback. Dude, I love him with Cohen. I mean, they just added an elite offensive minded coach. They added Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas is a top 10 receiver in the NFL. They added to him, so they added another running back to their room. Drafted some linemen. I don't know if they signed anybody, but yeah, what I'm getting at is the offense is pointing at the up, and we saw what Cohen did last year with Baker. So, again, I think all the tools are there for Trevor Lawrence to do something similar. So,
Yeah, no, I like it. You are just about to be on the clock, and now you got. Well, there you are. So, what are we doing here now? This is what pick are we on here? Sorry about that.
you know what? Because all my wide receivers have a different bye week. Kyle Williams is tempting, but I gotta solidify my RB room. I'm gonna take Trey Benson.
Okay, third pick of the 12th round.
I love James. Like, anybody that watches football and is a football fan respects James Conner, just how he plays the game, the type of player he is. This is more of like, analytical kind of, pick behind this. He's 30 years old. He has an injury history, and Benson looked good last year, man. Like, you average out his numbers at the end, like he was averaging over 5 yards per carry. Their coach, what's his name? I forgot his name. I'm a brain fart, but he was talking about, he was hyping up Trey Benson, not saying he's the guy, but he was like, yo, we're going to have like a 1-2 punch. And again, Trey Benson was my RB1 last year. I thought he was a monster at Florida State. Like, he's what, 220 pounds, but he runs a 4.3. Not a lot of players can do that. So, I think the talent's there, and I think he's another one. Like, he's going to give me flex value, but if James Conner gets hurt, that's a league-winning pick. So I'm gonna roll the dice with Benson. But passing up on Kyle Williams that was hard because I love New England. I love Drake May. Kyle Williams is awesome separator, but yeah, I gotta round. Harvey and Hampton have the same bye week, which pisses me off because I love both of them. So I usually will impact my build because week 12, I almost have no. If you're going like light RB2,
Sure.
almost like a 0 RB, you're kind of fucked because now, like, that week, you're gonna get literally no production from your RB. So I gotta kind of solidify my RB room.
So I did just take with my pick there in the 12th round. I took Jack Besh. I just think targets are going to be there. I like Jacoby. Wish I could have got him. But yeah, so I will take him, and we'll add a second quarterback. Even though I'm not as worried having Joe Burrow, I ought to be worried with what I'm about to do because I'm going to take Tua. I mean, when he's healthy, he's great, but he's not always healthy. But he's my second quarterback, and my first is Joe Burrow. So I will roll the dice on that one. So yeah, I will take Tua. I was looking at Michael Penix, but he did go 1 pick before I was up there to pick. But second quarterback, I'll take it. So I've got that locked up. Jamie says tomorrow, 12 p.m. We're live streaming the SFB draft, the Cincy draft. Nice. Stop by, check it out. There you go. Yeah, if you're in the Cincinnati area, if you go to the SFB website, I'm sure that'll say where it's located in Cincy for the draft. But yeah, definitely get down there. And I'm 4 weeks away from the New York City draft, so that'll be cool. I'll do that. I was going to go to the Philadelphia one the next day, but Pete decided that he was having his honeymoon during the live SFB draft, which is kind of rude. But so whatever. I might check the dates on Washington. If anybody's watching, knows when the Washington draft is. Curious when that is.
Dude, I got to get into the Scott's Fishbowl, man. I tried this year. I didn't get in. Hopefully in the future.
Have you done it before, or?
No, I've like, playing fantasy, I've always heard about it, and
Yeah.
but I never pursued it. I never tried to get invited. This was the first year. Anthony actually, ironically, is the one that put me onto it. It was like, dude, no, you have to try it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'd like to get into it one day and win for him. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and that'll be the one weird thing is this year when I go to the New York City draft. It'll be my third year going. Last 2 years I've gone there. I've been there with him hanging out. So I'll have an empty bar stool next to me, but we'll make the
Nah,
most
man,
of it.
I'll go with you this time, bro. I got you. You just let me know.
But yeah, we'll have a good time there. That's in 4 weeks in the city. But who'd you take here with your 13th and 14th round picks?
Dude, I actually went similar to your last two picks. I went quarterback, rookie wide receiver. I went Stafford, similar, we know of Tua because Miami is such a fantasy friendly offense. Like, yeah,
Sure.
they're probably going to go, 500, right? But they're going to put up a lot of fantasy points. So if Tua is healthy, he's a good fantasy quarterback. And I loved Beck out of TCU. He's actually originally from LSU. He's a dog. So I like the upside there. I went Matt Stafford. I love the Rams this year. I like, you know, you look at what the Rams are doing. Like they added Devontae Adams and they have Puka Nacua. Like I can't imagine Stafford not having a big year this year. So again, as my QB3, I love that. And then I went with one of my favorite, this is a deep rookie sleeper. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him. Patrick Bryant, man, from Denver. I love this kid. I love this pick. I think the landing spot should have sent, alarms off in everybody's head, and then on top of that, Sean Payton goes, yeah, there was a lot of similarities to Michael Thomas. Like guys, like sometimes we just got to listen to the coach when he's literally spelling it out to you, and am I saying he's going to be Michael Thomas? I'm not, but again, because Sean Payton has also drafted Traquan Smith in the third round. So obviously everybody's human. They could have their own misses, but I watched Pat Bryant play. He was a monster at Illinois. He had like almost a 90 PFF grade. Like everything screams that this kid's legit. The only flaw in his profile was he ran it was almost like a 4.6, I want to say 40. It was like a high 4.5s. But dude, he's just a big body wide receiver, big catch rate, catches everything. And I just think it's ironic. Like you watch that Bills Broncos game last year, and I just will never, because I bet Sutton's over. He hit it, but he had that drop. And like, I don't know. I just feel like it's stuck in everybody's head. I think Pat Bryant, again, you're connected to Sean Payton, an ascending Broncos offense, a blossoming Bo Nix. Sutton is 30, 31, wherever he's older. So there could be a little bit of a fall off. That's what analytics tell us. And yeah, I think this kid could step up and easily be the wide receiver too. I think there's a lot of upside there. So I'm going to roll the dice.
Jamie is asking, are you all going to the expo this year? The plan is me and Peter are going. That's the plan. Yeah, we're looking at probably an Airbnb, not particularly the one I stayed in last time, because that was a little iffy. But yeah, but whatever. It held my beers and pepperoni and Pedialites in the fridge just fine. But yeah, no, we are planning on going. Ernie, have you ever done that? The expo?
No, dude, I would love to, man. I'd love to get more involved.
Last year was the first year I did it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, let me know when you and Peter are going. I haven't done it yet. Something that I definitely would like to do. But yeah, what's it like, man?
It's cool. I'll tell you, it runs your social meter low, but it's a lot of fun. It's a bit of a whirlwind. Like I went last year, was my first year. You get to you're on you're on the app, you're building all these relationships, and then all of a sudden you're finally meeting everybody. It's so that part's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just talking fantasy football with everybody. I did a draft at the Hall of Fame last year, which was pretty cool with the Kings Classic. I'll be looking to do that again this year. They have set up other drafts at a pretty cool bar by the Hall of Fame. Pete was doing that, so it's a lot of fun. It's in August, so yeah, I'll be in touch with you on that. But yeah, Jamie, we are going, and then Jamie has to add, of course. I'll buy you a strawberry daiquiri gift. But you buy me a strawberry daiquiri, it's going to go to waste. I'm going to turn around and hand to the first person I see.
That's so funny that I love the strawberry daiquiri joke, by the way.
I don't know where that came from.
I might ride that wave. I might have a strawberry daiquiri ready for you next best ball draft.
Okay, well, you might be wasting your time making it, but you know.
Sure, I'll drink it then. Why not?
I do have a Gatorade now because it's going to that watch party later. So, you know, try and drink the good stuff before I drink the bad stuff. So,
you think the Mets get? Oh yeah, you put 25 on them. Yeah, I think they should bounce back today. Didn't they just? The Phillies just beat them up last night too, right?
Yeah,
smells like a bounce back.
It's just it's been a week. I said to Pete because Pete's a Phillies fan. It's one thing to go on a losing streak, but it's a whole nother thing when every game it's against your division.
Yeah, dude. Yankees. Yankees got swept by the Red Sox too, man. So I get it. That was brutal. That was
Let me see this. I'll take my guy I've been taking a lot here. I will take Juwan Johnson. That is that's my last pick in the 16th round there. So we'll read off our teams at some point. But I do like Juwan Johnson. I know everybody's worried about that offense, but players are going to need to produce. We've seen bad offenses before have good players on it. It's not impossible. It's not improbable. Obviously you want other names before, but when I'm getting him in the 16th round as my second tight end, I'll take that chance. So I'll draft him there. Not really worried about it. Jamie said, "Fine, I'll buy you your favorite girly drink, light beer." That's okay. So that's why he means strawberry daiquiri. You know what? Let's just cut the foreplay. You buy me a shot of Jack. We'll do that. There you go. So maybe that's manly enough for you, Jamie. I hope so, buddy. Hope so. So I was going to take De'Ami Brown there. That would have been the third time I drafted him today, but he went just 2 picks before me. First pick of the 17th round. I do like that pick. I'm warming up to him at that price. I'm venturing into he's got to get a job soon. I'm going to go with Keenan Allen here. Not in love with that pick. I don't have a lot of Keenan Allen shares, but I was looking to get another wide receiver. There's Michael Wilson, Calvin Austin, Darius Slayton. So at that point, I'll take Keenan Allen. They got to find it. He and Amari Cooper got to find jobs eventually. Scott says, "Hey, no beer is good. It keeps me out of trouble." Okay, there you go. Keeps you out of trouble. I can't. I cannonball into trouble.
Man, this kid's killing me. What is this? Chattelford. He took Jalen Wright and Dante Thornton. It's actually starting to piss me off.
Ooh,
2 of my guys right before me,
man.
too.
That's it.
Pissing me off, man.
There you go. You've been warned wherever you are.
Yeah.
Chattelford, son of a. All right. You are coming up here. The 202nd overall pick. 10th pick of the 17th round. What are we doing?
I'm going to take Rashard Smith.
Okay.
I'm going for, again, I think Pacheco's stale. Kareem Hunt. We know what Kareem Hunt is, man. Do I think Rashard Smith is going to be like a Pacheco level impact? No, but I think he will be that, PPR, third down running back that Andy Reid likes to use, similar to McKinnon. So I'm going to roll the dice there just so I get another running back to kind of round out my room. And then my last pick is going to be Roman Wilson, man. Similar to, your outlook on DK Metcalf. Again, Roman Wilson was one of my favorite, rookie wide receivers last year, and there was a lot to like about him. The Steelers almost took him in the second round. They got him in the third. I think him and McConkey were the best separator. Like you saw it at the Senior Bowl. Like
Sure.
they were the best separators. Again, outside of DK Metcalf, Steelers don't have anybody, man. And I think the talent's legit. I think Rodgers is smart. Like again, like everybody's acting like this guy is dead. He's
Yeah.
not dead. Like,
No.
he's not going to be an MVP, but he's going to be
Right.
serviceable. And, they're in a good division. So there's going to be a lot of games where they're constantly throwing the ball. And, I like Roman Wilson to be that underneath, slot guy, kind of similar to Randall Cobb. So I'm just going to shoot for the upside there. Hopefully he's, becomes one of Rodgers' go-to.
Jamie says, I am with you on Roman. Got 18 shares of him in rookie draft. So,
Jamie, I'm getting you a strawberry daiquiri, my friend.
Oh, here we go with this shit now. I will say, actually, well, I just lost my mind. Maybe too many strawberry daiquiris. I don't know. All right, I'm coming up with my last pick here. That's what I was going to say. Aaron Rodgers, while he's not what he was when he was winning those MVPs, at his price, even what Aaron Rodgers is now is still better than the other quarterbacks that are in that area, in my opinion. I will end this best ball draft like I end almost all of them by either selecting Kareem Hunt or Kendre Miller. Today it's Kareem Hunt. So there you go. Team is now full. So we will read off the teams. I did only get 2 quarterbacks, so we'll see how that goes. But, I don't have a lot of teams with 2 quarterbacks, but every now and again, whatever. I'm confident enough in Joe Burrow where I could just have 2 quarterbacks. So there you go. The draft is now complete for the most part. We're waiting for Mr. Irrelevant. Who's it going to be? We saw Adonai Mitchell go.
I think I think it's frozen.
You think it's frozen? Oh, okay. I think it's frozen too. All right. So let's get that the hell out of here. All right. So we finished our draft. That's a best ball mania, by the way. So $25 hit there. Still $10 left in the old count. So I will probably be doing a super flex later on. But all right. Ernie, go ahead. You had the 10th pick. You can read off your team.
Yep. I went four QB, 6 running back, 6 wide receiver, 2 tight end. Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Matt Stafford, Danny Jones, Omarion Hampton, RJ Harvey, Jordan Mason, Trey Benson, Jarquez Hunter, Brashard Smith, Nico Collins, Drake London, Calvin Ridley, Josh Downs, Pat Bryant, Roman Wilson. And then my tight end room is Evan Engram, Tyler Warren.
I like it. You'd think going back in retrospect, you think since you have Josh Allen, do you need 4 quarterbacks then? Or was that something you still wanted to pursue? Or
yeah, you know what? I probably would have changed my Matt Stafford pick and probably took one of the sleepers I like Kyle Williams.
Sure.
But again, man, I've seen a lot of strategies where I don't agree with this, but a lot of people go quarterbacks early.
Yeah.
And like they take 4 quarterbacks early. And I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But I get the logic because if you get that spike week from your quarterback, like, and it's 35 points, like, think about the rest of your team doesn't have to do that much of heavy lifting.
Sure.
So even though I have Josh Allen, I still like to have those, like, because there could be a week where Trevor Lawrence outscores him, right? And now I kind of have my back end covered in my most important position, and I didn't spend the highest capital on them. So
there you go. All right, I got 2 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Quarterbacks are Joe Burrow and Tua. We'll see how that goes with Mr. Tua. Running backs, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. Those were actually my first 2 picks. Tyrone Tracy, Javonte Williams, who I'm warming up to a wee bit at his price. Tank Bigsby, and then Kareem Hunt, my favorite. Wide receivers, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk, Jack Besh, Jalen McMillan, who I still believe can have some production, especially in a best ball format where I'm not like plugging him into a lineup and hoping he hits. And then Keenan Allen, who, again, I think will find a team eventually. 2 tight ends, Mark Andrews, I'm still a believer, and Mr. Juwan Johnson. So I like that team. I feel pretty good about it. Would have maybe thought about getting a 3rd quarterback, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So, but all right. So that'll pretty much do it for today. Not bad. Got this draft done in under an hour.
That was good, man. Nice and light.
Nice and light. All right. So, Ernie, you got anything else to say before we ride off into the sunset?
No, man, I loved your draft. I actually think we both did good, so I lied. We
Yeah,
drafted two solid
see
teams.
that? Don't be so
Uh,
hard on yourself.
yeah. Well, I would just say to everybody, don't draft names, draft for the upside. Go try to win this thing. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
So that's what I'm trying to do. But it was fun, Hawk. Thanks for having me on, man. Let's do
Yeah,
another one this week. Maybe
cool.
tonight. Maybe a super flex book puppy tonight.
Yeah, well, yeah, but not on air, as I will be
Oh,
drinking
you're
apparently
God.
strawberry daiquiri.
I was making a joke. Yeah, you're gonna
Well,
be drinking strawberry daiquiris, right?
yeah, I'm going to be busy. I'll be very busy as I sip my Gatorade. But all right, that is going to do it for today. I will tell everybody if you watched, if you enjoyed, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe to the content, hit the bell icon to be notified every time we go live. Again, we're going to be putting out a lot of pre-recorded content too. That's coming up. We're going to be working on a whole bunch of stuff. So until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.